How do you know if your food and weight issues are actually spiritual problems? It's very simple. First of all, if you have ever done any kind of diet or fast or cleanse before to lose weight or to stop binging or emotional eating, and you're still struggling today, that is clue number one. A lot of people think that if the diet didn't work in the long term, that they failed the diet, they failed the cleanse, they didn't stay on the bandwagon. But that's not true. In every single case, the diet failed them. They didn't fail the diet. Because most of these diets are about controlling food in a way that automatically puts your body into a famine state. Psychologically, these diets trigger your mind to obsess 24/7 about food. And they also slow down your metabolism. This is well documented in about 30 years of scientific literature that diets do slow down your metabolism because they trigger this evolutionary function that your body thinks it's in a famine. That's the bad news. The good news is that the healing potential of your body is limitless. So you can heal your metabolism. And that is one of the things we dive into in the Food Without Fear program. But that's the first sign that your food problems are spiritual problems. If you have tried to control your weight or control your food, and you're still feeling stuck, and you've been in this cycle of weight fluctuation and frustration with food, it's a spiritual problem. The second sign that your food problems are actually spiritual problems is if you're dealing with chronic digestive issues and food sensitivities. Now, let me just put this disclaimer. If you are eating chemicals and not food, and you're dealing with digestive problems and food sensitivities, your problem is you're eating chemicals. Like I'm talking about, you're drinking soda, you're eating Special K, you're eating Splenda, you're eating food with all these dyes that are made with petroleum. That's not actually food, and the body can't digest that. That is chemicals designed, restructured as food, right? But this is the basics. And if you're here, if you're aware of my work, you're probably somebody who eats a whole food diet. You eat fresh fruits and vegetables, you prepare a lot of your meals at home, and yet you're still struggling with food sensitivities and chronic digestive problems. Well, that's your sign that it is actually a spiritual root cause. What happens in most cases of food sensitivities, you ready for this? It's actually a sign that people are sensitive to their life. They are having these food reactions, but in reality, they're having reactions like allergic reactions to not having enough truth in their life. Because the body is allergic to pretending. The body is allergic to lies. So if you are living from a false self, if you are wearing a metaphorical mask in order to find safety or fit in, or because that's how you were raised, or if you are in an environment where you're being lied to, or there's not enough truth around you, your body is going to pick that up before your mind does. Because the body is the most accurate truth-sensing device available to us. It picks up on lies. It picks up on other people's pretending far faster than our conscious mind does. So that is actually the root problem we have to look at for food sensitivities. We have to look at how are we having these allergic reactions to certain dynamics, certain values, certain relationships, certain people, certain work. There's a reason why my clients who go through the Food Without Fear program, they come out on the other side and they have made changes in their relationships. They have learned how to communicate better and set better boundaries. They have realized that they weren't dreaming big enough. They make big financial changes to allow more money into their life, or they make big career changes. They make big family changes. All of this happens because I am going to equip you with the tools to allow more truth into your life, to help your life be more aligned with your highest path. That really is the root cause we have to work at when we're dealing with chronic digestive issues and food sensitivities. And the third sign that your food problems are actually spiritual problems is if you are dealing with over-control patterns around food and your weight. So Food Without Fear is really unique in that it is a one-size-fits-all approach for both what we could call the under control around food, which is binging and emotional eating, But on the other end of the spectrum, the over control around food, which might manifest as anorexia patterns or weight anxiety, where you have to check your stomach or your weight first thing in the morning, and the number on the scale or the profile of your body sets the temperature for your entire day. What happens there is actually a subconscious attempt to find control in our life by controlling our bodies and by controlling food. That doesn't work. It really doesn't. There is a lot of shifts that need to happen where we realize that we are actually being controlled by expectations, by values, by obligations, by what I call the false self. And we have to step out of that into another level of surrender to God, surrender to the divine, whatever word you want to use there. That's where the healing happens. And that is a scary transition because the ego likes to keep us separate from God. But that's the only way healing is going to happen. So if there's a part of you deep down that knows this, like you know, faith and surrender is the only way forward, but you're scared and you don't know how to get there, this is the program for you. This program has supported hundreds of women, and you can read some of their experiences at foodwithoutfearprogram.com. You'll see that this is not about healing your relationship with food. It's actually about healing your relationship with life. And as a result, that symptom of food and weight problems disappears. So if you're ready to take this journey into your heart and into your soul and into the deepest and most beautiful levels of healing so that you can live deliciously and joyfully as a relaxed woman, this is the program for you. I'll see you inside.